Welcome to Split Ends with Andrew and Olga. And in the salon chair today to share her hair story, please welcome, in her crown, Milla Magee, Miss England.
Olga, I think that's a bit too much.
Really? I just wanted to make an effort. It's a special episode and I just thought it was like fitting with the theme and... No?
Not sure it's you.
I just wanted to kind of like sort of almost disappear into the background, no?
You're not.
No? What about this? I want world peace.
Now you're on something.
Yeah. And tell us who we've got in the chair today.
We have got Miss England before she goes to Miss World.
Oh, maybe she'll take me with her.
Split Ends with Andrew and Olga.
Milla, welcome to Split Ends.
Woo!
It's Miss England, Olga.
I know, I'm like...
Miss England.
I know, Miss
in
England.
the chair in the salon.
She's gorgeous, inside and out.
Look at this glorious hair as well.
I love it, I love it. So tell us, when did you begin your reign as Miss England?
So I was crowned back in May and I embarked on this journey back in January. So it's almost been a year.
So cool. And how long do you kind of do the Miss England stint for? How long does it last?
So you hold the title until there is another contest. So
I
will be representing.
Just
You think you can compete?
pin my head back. Yeah. So,
You 100% could. I'll be crowning you next.
oh no.
Talking about crowns, I saw you walking with a square box. Is
Yeah.
there something special in that box? You were holding it like it was a crown jewels or something.
Or it could be a packed lunch.
Could it be a packed lunch?
What is it?
It is actually.
Your security guards outside. as well.
So this is actually the box that the Miss England crown and sash lives in. So it
No way.
Wow.
Get out of here. Are we allowed to open it? Yes.
Absolutely.
There's like sparkles come out as soon as you open it.
Fairy dust.
Oh
Wowza.
my word. That is
It
stunning.
matches so well with your top.
I don't want to look at it, but I'm scared I'll drop it.
Where do you wear this to? Like supermarket shopping?
Supermarket.
Just at the
Cleaning the
post
toilet.
Post office. Well, it could beat the queue in the post office if you walked in with that on.
That is absolutely beautiful. So where do you wear it?
So any Miss
To bed.
England duties, I will wear the crown, and it does come out
Lush.
for special occasions when I'm doing Miss England duties.
Literally.
Every
A
time
funny
it's lifted.
story actually. When I was crowned in
so
May, it was a
pretty.
right laugh. It slipped off 3
She looks so
times.
beautiful.
And me and Angie Beasley, the director of Miss England, who's basically become like a second mother to me now. She is such a wonderful woman, the backbone behind Miss England. And, you know, all the Miss Englands before. So when you become Miss England, you represent your country at Miss World. So I'll be representing next year. And she has been such a support, and everyone a part of Miss England has just become like family.
Oh,
but
that's
funnily,
amazing.
I digress. But when
So
I
do
was
I.
crowned,
Get it off! Get it off your sweaty man head!
that looks amazing on you. That looks fabulous. Look at you.
Let me try.
Angie crowned me, and it slipped off 3 times, and we had a right laugh on the
Olga.
stage.
I
Oh
am.
my gosh, that suits you so
I
well.
am Miss Mom. What's for dinner? Sorry. Carry on.
Spag bowl.
Spag bowl. Yeah.
Do you
Can't
know
go
what
wrong with
though?
spag bowl.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think of like this?
Yeah.
Androulla.
Yeah. Shall I go and get her
And
now?
go and get Androulla.
Right.
You've not met Androulla yet.
Andrew, no, I've never.
And you could give us
She's a
some.
friend of ours.
You can chat to her about
She'd really
becoming
like
Miss
it.
England.
I'm so
And get some
excited.
of your kind of top tips around being Miss England.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any tips I can give?
So, well, do you know what? She needs a lot of help.
Oh.
Androulla needs some support. She needs some help. She needs some encouragement as well because her confidence levels are a bit low.
Oh no.
I know,
Okay.
It's quite sad actually.
Yeah.
So when she comes in,
Yes.
just act as normal.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
No surprises.
No.
She gets quite easily offended.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for warning me.
Quite sensitive and stuff like that. Because I'm sure that's part of your skill set that you've got to be, isn't it?
Do you know what? Since being crowned Miss England, I have nothing. I've been so grateful that I've had nothing but support. Wow.
This is Androulla.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, so nice to meet you.
Mwah.
I'm so like a huge fan because I'm actually Miss Wood Green in North London.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's such a pleasure to
Yeah.
meet you.
And I was wondering if you could give some tips to like young women that are thinking, like, I like to go to Miss England, but like, how can I like do it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I embarked on this journey back in January, and if I'm being completely honest, I had no perception of what Miss England or Miss World was. I come from a life of being a surfer, and I'm from London originally, born a city girl, but then moved to the coast in Cornwall, now reside in Newquay. And from that, became a surf instructor, then became a lifeguard, and now founded
That's
my project Go
amazing.
Far with CPR. But when I embarked on this journey in January, I wanted to take it as an opportunity, not even thinking that I'd even make the finals in May. You know, it was just about being a part of that change of perspective of what we've had of these so-called pageants.
Yes, because a lot of women, they don't want to do it because they think they've got to have a vajazzle.
What?
To be Miss England, you've got to have like waxing, vajazzle, everything like that.
Absolutely not. It's moved
I
on
don't
and
need a vajazzle
evolved.
to be Miss
You
England.
do not need
So I've
that
got a
at
chance.
all. You have an absolute chance, because you know what? The whole ethos behind Miss England and Miss World is beauty with a purpose, and that was founded
Beauty
by
with a purpose,
Beauty
that's-
with a Purpose.
Oh, yeah.
That's a charity founded by a fantastic, phenomenal lady called Julia Morley in 1972. And basically, it supports all the country, all the women from different country coming together to support their countries and be a role model for their communities with their passions and their projects to change the world.
And Julie, what's your passion?
I'm really passionate about Primark. Yeah, I'm really
Why is it
passionate.
you particularly like
I just
that?
love the clothes.
Yeah?
Also, one of my specialities is I can do weightlifting with bags of Cyprus potatoes.
That's amazing.
But I
What an
don't know if-
achievement.
So, because like, you've got to have like, when you do Miss England, like obviously you've got to be beautiful like us,
But
yeah.
it's about the beauty from within, and that's what I want to inspire to younger generations, to all
Yeah.
those young girls. If there's a girl that's got a similar story to myself, or just
Or
someone,
Androulla.
or yourself,
Yeah.
Androulla,
Yeah.
and they can look at us and think,
Oh yeah.
relate
like,
to
yeah.
their stories,
Yeah,
and
'cause
go,
we're like the
I
same
can be
category.
like that one. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because what I've learned and realised, where I've struggled a lot in the past, growing up in London and not really fitting in, and
Yeah.
you know, longing to live in Cornwall, and
Yeah.
realising that what you're going through does not define you. You
Yes.
are in charge of your destiny.
Yes.
And whatever dreams and passions you may have, they're not out of reach. And if someone can look at my story, or if a little girl that might surf or might feel like they are out of the ordinary,
Yes.
and think, but also that your passions and your purpose can take you further than anything else, because a lot of things in life can be quickly shaken: relationships, friendships, finances, jobs, whatever
God,
it is.
yeah.
But the one thing that you'll always hold in your heart is purpose. And since
Purpose.
purpose.
A quick consultation.
My purpose, so basically my fiance, he went off with my cousin.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, and she's not even good looking. She looks like a meerkat.
Oh.
I mean, nothing wrong with you looking like a meerkat, but that's what she looked like.
You look like a meerkat.
A meerkat.
Right, okay.
Like she's got very
Meerkats,
hair.
I'm sure meerkats are quite cute.
Yeah,
I'm
like-
so sorry though.
I'm sorry, but that, and you know, and the thing is, we had the baby together and everything,
Oh no.
and
What's
so
the baby called?
But you know
chlamydia.
what? That child has a beautiful mother that adores her.
Yes, she does.
And that's all that matters.
yeah, and so my purpose every day is to wake up so I can put what sits on the table for her.
Oh.
What fits?
Yeah, I'll wake up with her. And one last thing I want to ask you before
Yes.
I go.
Yes.
When you're as good looking as what we are, yeah, and people just turn heads, yeah, I know it's really hard.
That's very
You get a lot of
kind.
attention
I
in
get
the
a lot.
street.
I get a lot of attention. I get a lot of attention.
It's about the beauty
Yeah.
from within. It's not about the physical beauty on the outside. And that's a big thing that I want
Yeah.
to get across on this journey
Yeah.
as Miss England, going to Miss World. You know, it's not about just rocking up with a swimsuit in your
Yeah.
suitcase anymore, which is what the perspective we've had for many years.
Yeah.
Because, you know, back in the 60s and 70s, it was more about physical beauty.
Yeah,
It was okay
yeah.
to be open with that.
Yeah.
But that was okay for that time. But it's about realising it's evolved so much more from
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that it's about being a role model for your community and for the younger
Absolutely,
generations.
absolutely. And it's really hard. Like when you are good looking as good looking in it as us, you get
You like blowing your own
misunderstood.
trumpet, don't you?
You get misunderstood when you're as good looking as us, you know? Yeah. So how do you deal with like people who say bad things about you, like, oh, Miss England, she's like this, she's like that?
Well, do you know what? I think whatever is I always say that those questions are always my favourite when people ask, how does it feel being a part of Miss England, whether it's misogynistic or whether it's, what it used to stand for. That's my favourite because I get to be a part of the change, to flip that perspective, because it's about realising in life that things change and things do evolve. And if we don't understand that, then there's no room for change. And it's about realising, before I embarked on this journey, I was guilty of the perspective of what it stood for because I hadn't taken the time to educate. And when I realised what Miss England and Miss World stood for, I've met women from across the country, firefighters, lawyers,
That's
doctors,
incredible.
myself as a lifeguard, and my project's trying to change the law and making CPR mandatory, You can't not feel inspired by these other women's projects. That it became a mission of mine to not just be a part of this journey, but to also, win or lose, be a part of changing that perspective to others. Because if I can be a part of this journey and inspire a young girl that may be at school, that doesn't fit in or struggling or is passionate about their projects, and they can think, I can be a part of Miss England, be a part of that change, because women coming together collectively with their passions and projects to support their communities, to be a pillar of change for the world and for your country, how can you not look at that and not feel inspired?
That's really, I think you're such a beautiful person and you've inspired me because I've been campaigning for many years for every woman in the UK to get a free manicure.
That is such a great
I just
cause.
think every woman is like a right. It's like a basic human right that every woman should be allowed to go and get their manicure.
Thank you.
So,
for all the women in the country, cannot thank you enough.
I'm
normally barefoot on a beach in a wetsuit, and so I've spent many years being very low maintenance on hair and manicures and pedicures, and that's not something that you need for a part of this journey, but it's about having a standard and looking nice, so I can understand why you would want that. So I could totally support your endeavours in that.
Well, I'm gonna.
Key tiara.
Yeah, I'm gonna go now.
Are you gonna go?
Yeah.
Thanks for popping in.
Thank you for all the advice, and I'll look out for you on the catwalk. Remember me, Miss Wood Green.
I will see you at Miss World.
Okay, thank you.
She likes. Do you want to do your pose and you walk off?
No, I'm just having a look at myself.
Yeah. Okay. How do you walk?
Ooh.
Look. She's impressed. You see?
She's fabulous.
She is fabulous, darling.
Your hair story.
I am in awe of your passion for CPR, and I am with you on. I'm actually shocked, that it hasn't been introduced into schools.
Yeah.
Why?
So currently CPR is a requirement. However, I endeavour to change that in making it mandatory because I think education is something that every child has the right to. I think education is so important, but it's our responsibility as adults to educate our younger generations.
Yeah.
We are the ones that inspire our younger generations and lead the way to leave a legacy that will be here longer than we are. And that is what we do at Miss England and Miss World. Beauty with a Purpose is a legacy that will be here longer than we are, whatever purpose it is. But with mine, Go Far with CPR, I founded that with...
It's amazing.
Thank you. With a combination of my life-saving skills as a lifeguard, but also due to personal family stories. I lost both of my grandfathers due to heart attacks. But on my paternal side, my auntie was present, but did not know how to perform any basic first aid or CPR. And it took 2 hours or a certain amount of time, because it was before I was born, but it took a certain amount of time for the ambulance to get there. And might she have known what to do, it might have helped in that situation.
Milla, I wouldn't know what to do.
Exactly.
Olga, would you know what to do?
No, and I feel ashamed about
I
it.
absolutely do as well,
So-
and I never even thought about it.
But if you think about it, they teach our kids this and they teach them that and they do sex ed and they do.
Exactly.
But what about saving lives? They could do it in physical education. Why don't they do it?
At Go Far with CPR, we educate and equip our younger generations with the skills to save a life with their bare hands. Because being a surfer, it's a natural progression to become a surf instructor, which I was for many years. Which I was for many years. And from being a surf instructor, I became a qualified beach lifeguard, which then founded my project. Because being in scenarios and events or situations when I've come back home to London and I've been talking with people far from a beach that don't know how to perform CPR, but I've been in a situation where that skill needs to be done. I thought
yeah.
there needs to be a change here, and more people need to be able to perform first aid and CPR.
Yeah.
And with CPR, so people don't realise defibrillators, it's an acknowledgement from the government because defibrillators are being placed up and down the country, which is fantastic, but people don't realise that you need to perform CPR in conjunction to defibrillators if there is more than one person there and you know how to
Right.
perform the skill.
What's the first
So
and most
when
important step?
Yeah. So I actively attend lots of schools locally to where I live in Cornwall now, and I've
Yeah.
had the opportunity of meeting with all the schools, and it's
That's
really
so
fun
cool.
seeing the younger kids step away from technology because we're inundated with technology nowadays,
yeah.
phones, screens, and laptops. But we
Yeah.
can use that for a positive
Yeah.
reach because we can reach across the world, which we haven't been able to do many years
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
So we can use it in a positive way. But with that, seeing them stepping away from that technology and, you know, really doing something that is physical and
Physical,
together with
yeah.
a skill that they can do for the rest
With
of their
other
lives.
humans.
With
It's
other
not,
humans.
You know, not everything is virtual.
Yeah, it's
But
so true.
How would you work
So-
out that somebody needed CPR?
Yeah, so
Like,
Yeah.
is there you should look for something?
yeah,
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
Like their eyes rolling back, or I don't know. I don't understand what it is.
Yeah, so there's many indications that can happen in a situation. So someone might simply choke on their food, and you might need to perform the Heimlich maneuver. It's
The
not
what?
the Heimlich
Oh, yeah,
maneuver.
I've seen that in movies where you grab someone
Oh,
on
It's
the
actually, fun fact, not allowed to be called the Heimlich maneuver anymore. It has to be called the abdominal thrust. But
Okay.
in that situation, so if someone chokes, for example, you then perform the abdominal thrust, and then someone might faint or pass out and they become unconscious. So that's
Oh,
the first
wow.
indication where you might want to. So if someone's unconscious at a restaurant, at a park, wherever you may
Yeah.
be, that's the thing. People associate CPR and the skill with being on a beach and being a
Yeah,
lifeguard,
right,
but it
okay,
can
but
happen
it's not
anywhere in the world, which is why this is a universal skill.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I always say to the kids when I'm educating them, there's a really fun. Is it called an
Anecdote.
well, yeah, so it's called Doctor's ABC.
Right.
And so you split it up into sections to make it easy if you, just to know how to do it. So you first look for danger. So you check the casualty is okay and you check that you're not putting yourself into surrounding danger as well because you can't help the casualty
Yeah.
if you're putting yourself into danger. Then R, so for doctor, is response. So you do that by tapping the casualty's shoulders or saying hello or saying hello, how are you okay in
Right.
their ear.
Okay.
If you don't get a response, if you do get a response, they're okay. And if they're unconscious, you then go into ABC, which is checking the airway, and you tilt the head back. This is very in a nutshell.
But this could ABC.
But- I
know,
Airway,
Airway,
B for
breathing,
C
and
for
C for CPR.
CPR.
So you start the CPR after you've checked the airway, you've checked the breathing, and the casualty is breathing. Within that time, you also, if there is someone around close by, or if you are able to locate a defibrillator, you do locate a defibrillator in that time before you start CPR. If there is one by, you then do that in conjunction.
This is fantastic.
But if
Isn't it?
not,
Isn't
then
it?
But also the fact that you're campaigning for to start young. If you're going
Yeah.
to teach
Exactly.
people things, you'd start young.
start young. And do you know what it is? The kids really enjoy it.
I
bet
say-
they do.
They really enjoy just
I bet
getting-
they love you.
Oh.
The treatment.
And so with my project Go Farther CPR, I'm working very closely with my local MP, Noah Law, in changing the law. And I've had, before actually the finals of Miss England, I had the honour of meeting His Royal Highness Prince William, which was such an
Wow.
honour. And that was when I was Miss Newquay. He came down to Fistral Beach, where I used to work as a surf instructor for many years. So it
Amazing.
meant a lot to me. It felt like
Yeah.
a real
course.
full circle moment.
Such a proud moment.
And I had the opportunity of talking with him about Go Farther CPR, and him and his affiliate were so acknowledging, and to see their acknowledgement for this important skill, even they were baffled that it's not in schools.
Yeah.
And so now having the opportunity to have spoken with him and working closely in changing the law, that is what I endeavour to do as I venture to Miss World. As well as being an ambassador for a fantastic organisation called Love Newquay, I think it's so important that whatever career path you're in, you know, you always got to stay true to your roots and remember where you come from. And I wouldn't be where I am without my amazing community back home in Newquay, where I worked as a surf instructor. And
And can we get a bit cheeky?
yeah.
Can we?
Well, you are.
So
Obs.
you must get a lot of attention from the boys. in town. Is there any romance going on
Oh,
from
yes.
Miss England?
There isn't any romance. I'm
No?
so sorry
Not
to
Mr.
be so.
England?
Mr. England, Mr.
Mr.
Universe.
England has just represented England at Mr. World, and he did
Oh.
such a fantastic job.
Right.
And it's so proud. He is a very, very good friend, and we do a lot of events together. But that is how,
That
as
is
far
all.
as it goes. I'm very much someone that I'm open to the right person at the right
okay.
time.
Well, you never know, there might be somebody
somebody
watching
watching,
Split
isn't it?
Ends, looking for your number.
So I want to know, like,
But in my
Yeah.
eyes, I'm not currently with anyone. I am
Right.
on my own, and
busy girl.
Yeah,
but that's the
very
thing.
busy
I'm
girl.
very content with. I'm so passionate about my life right now and
But
what I'm
that's
doing.
so important. You don't need to find someone to make your life complete. Do you
No.
know what I mean?
This is it, and I think that's a massive part of what I want to show others
As a role model
As
to
a
younger
role model.
people.
Yeah, yeah.
This is it. I have been given the blessing, as we all do, whatever career path you're in. I think we all
Yes.
have a responsibility to lay down the legacy that we leave behind. And I
Yeah.
think I know that I want to hopefully show other girls and boys one day that you've got a dream, you go for it. Your dream is
Absolutely.
not out of reach.
Yeah.
Whatever you're going through does not define you. You don't have to put
Yeah.
pressure on having someone else in your life, because the right person will fit in at the right
Yeah.
time.
Okay, I want to ask a question.
Go on,
Obviously, Milla, you are a very positive, bright, funny, intelligent, warm individual, okay?
Thank you.
And also, because your life is on display,
Yes.
and you are being that positive, bright, funny, kind role model, which I know you are, but I know also there is an element of you do portray that because you have to, as we all do, as a comedian, as as someone who works in the
true.
public eye. What about when you're having a bad day or a down day? How do you look after yourself? Like when there might be times when it's like those positive thoughts and they don't you just can't get it together.
Absolutely.
And what do you do on those days?
So I think I think mental health is such an important topic, and that's one thing that I also like to adamantly talk about. Even though I go to the schools with Go Forward CPR, I'm very open with talking with the kids about whatever they want to talk about. And a lot of the discussions we've had is mental health, and I think it's a topic we need to keep talking about, because I struggled a lot growing up. I was born in London and I was raised in London until the age of 15, and I struggled a lot because growing up I struggled at school, and I'm very open now with talking about my struggles in mental health. And I wasn't your typical city girl. I was bullied a lot at school. I never fitted in. I was always a very tall girl. I was quite overweight at the time, but I was a happy, healthy child, and that's all that mattered. And that's what I always say. It doesn't matter what you look like, it's the personality from within. Whatever people deem as perfect. I was born into this life with what my parents did with their jobs, that there was a stereotypical image of what people had to look like. And people don't realise that is imprinted on a lot of people in that industry to put onto the younger generations too. And it's very important for me now, with having this opportunity and voice, that it does not matter what you look like. If you're happy and you're healthy and you have your purpose and you have integrity, you have your grace and your kindness.
Grace is such a beautiful word.
Isn't it?
We don't really use it much because it's found to be old-fashioned.
Absolutely.
But grace and humility get you so far.
Absolutely. And just embrace, we have this one life on this planet. And I always say, whatever it is that you're interested in, it's relevant to you. Go for your passions. Go for whatever opinions, everyone's got an
And
opinion.
it's never too late, and it's never too early.
late. It's never too early.
You're
It's
not
never
too
late.
young to make your
We
mark,
have
and you're
one
not too
life
old.
on this planet. I want
Wow,
to
it looks beautiful.
experience as much as possible, and I want to encourage others to do the same. And that's why I embarked on this journey, because for many years I thought it's not my style because I'm a surfer. But it's about making it your style. You can make whatever in life.
Talking about making your style.
Oh my
I
gosh,
know,
it's
look at
gorgeous.
What do you think?
I love
Stunning.
it.
You love it?
We need to
It's
see it with the tiara.
amazing.
I think we need to see it with the tiara and the sash.
Oh,
Yes.
it's beautiful. Yeah, should we do that?
Yeah.
Some photos.
Absolutely. But Milla, I mean, thank you
You've
so
been
much
such
for
an amazing
sharing.
guest. So positive.
So much
Thank
positivity.
you.
Yeah.
You know, Split Ends is all about well-being, and I think anybody that watches our show with all of our guests gets a snippet to take away, excuse the pun. But today, I think you as one of our guests has just been so incredible
you.
So
and
incredible.
enlightening.
Yeah,
It's been so-
absolutely really challenging as to what it means to be Miss England and how
Yeah.
relevant
It's changed our
it is today.
mindset.
Totally, totally.
So I know it's going to change our viewers.
Yeah, absolutely,
As well.
absolutely.
Thank
And I
you
know they'll
so
love you like we have loved you.
We are going to be gunning for you and screaming for you in Dubai at Miss World.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for joining
It's
us.
been so lovely
She's
to
an
join you guys
angel.
Really
today.
beautiful.
I'm going to take a little bit
Inside
of this
and
home
out.
with me tonight because it's just made me feel so warm and
Oh,
alive.
Yeah!
Alive.
That's what it's about. It's about embracing everything in life,
connecting.
connecting,
Yeah.
integrating. We're so focused on our screens.
you're so
And
right, yeah.
It's about having real life connections.
And while you're on the
communications.
screen, the world is passing you by.
Absolutely. How much time goes by when you've spent God knows how long going down the rabbit hole on your screens, you know?
Yes.
I'm a columnist for for a magazine called Loaded that was
Amazing,
big back in the
yes.
90s, but it's having a rebrand and it's
Yeah.
such an honour to be a part of that magazine.
Incredible.
And I just did a recent column on digital detachment and how we need to get off of
Yeah.
our screens and, you know, experience things. And that's why, as I said earlier, I embarked on this journey as a England because I wanted to step
Incredible.
out of my comfort zone and encourage
Amazing.
othes to step out of your
Amazing,
comfort
amazing.
zone.
Right,
Go
get your
to-
crown on.
Yeah, that was good.
Get that crown on.
I can talk for England. There you go.
Oh, we love it.
Cut. Thank you for joining us for Split Ends. In the salon chair today was Milla Magee, Miss England, talking to Andrew Barton and Olga Thompson. The episode was filmed and edited by Sophie Stemmons. Exec produced Sarah Burbage. And cut.
We love it,
Let's
but I
find
want to see the crown.
Yeah.
Do you know? Do you have a way of putting it on?
So-
You know where it sits.
I know where it sits because the funny thing, I think, so when I was crowned Miss England, it slipped off 3 times and me and Angie had a right laugh on the day and it was hilarious. And it is very heavy.
It
so
is heavy.
the same people that created the jewels and the crowns in the Netflix show The Crown also created this crown.
Amazing.
So it's very heavy
Lush.
and it does have quite a balance.
Let's see it
Balancing
then.
act.
Let's see it.
Come on then.
You sort of just balance it on like that.
Absolutely beautiful.
And there
And
you
do you
have
feel?
it.
Does it feel safe?
You do have to have, it does feel safe, it's not moving,
No.
and I probably couldn't go back and forth or
Yeah.
too much, but it does sit there, and there you go.
Stunning. Absolutely beautiful.
I mean, I wouldn't be doing cartwheels, it's not going to stay up.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. We have
Oh,
loved
thank you for having
We'll be
me.
cheering you on.
Thank you.